Hey everyone, it's painting time. Today I'm going to be painting this awesome jacked up Santa from Cripple God Foundries. I'm pretty excited for this one, so let's get straight into it. As always, I'm going to start by spray priming this in black and then a zenithal of white. After the primer and zenithal highlight have dried, I'm going to come in and paint all the skin in Joe Sanja's Provincial Beige. I thin it down with a bit of magic mix and do 2 thin coats of this. Now I'm going to paint his beard and the trim around his coat in titanium white from Joe Sanja's. When the white has finally dried, I'm going to come in and do a wash of Basilicanum Grey from Citadel Contrast. I'm going to paint all the trim around his clothing in this Basilicanum Grey. And later on I will come back and do the beard. I was going for a different color for the beard, but instead decided for Basilicanum Grey. Now I'm going to paint all his boots, straps and belt in contrast Black Templar. Make sure you're staying neat within the areas you've already painted. When the Basilicanum Grey has all dried, I'm going to come in and do a light dry brush over all the textured areas on the trim of the clothing and his beard. I want to try and get all the dry brushing done now so that I don't get it on the other colors when I paint them on. Now for Santa's iconic red cloak. I'm going to paint it all in Army Painter's Pure Red. This will take about 2 to 3 coats in certain areas, so take your time, be neat, and be patient. For Santa's bag, I'm going to paint it in Flesh Terrace Red contrast paint. I wanted to have the two reds look slightly different from one another. For the metallics, I want to try out these new molten metal colors from Chroma. Both their bronze and silver were very disappointing, and later on I will come back and fix them up. Now it's time for the wash stage. I'm going to first use Null Oil from Citadel to do an all over wash over everything except for the skin. Make sure you don't get much pooling, and if you do, just wick it away with your brush. And to wash the skin, I'm going to use Reikland Flesh Shade. Again, if you get any pooling, just wick it away with your brush. When the wash is all dried, I'm going to come back with the original red color, pure red, and highlight all the raised areas. I will first start with a dry brush of this pure red, just to help me see where all the raised areas are and any of the flat surfaces. If my dry brush can reach it, that's what I'll be highlighting. When the dry brush is complete, I'm going to then come back and layer the highlights on the raised areas with the same pure red. This layering should tidy up any of the dry brushing texture. Once the red has dried, I'm going to come back in with a mix of 50-50 of Infernal Orange from P3 and Pure Red. With this mix, I'm only going to paint all the folds of the coat. To highlight Santa's bag, I'm going to do a 50-50 mix of Contrast Flesh Terror's Red and Citadel's Evil Sun Scarlet. With this mix, I'm going to just paint all the raised areas, leaving all the dark recesses alone. And for the extreme highlights on the bag, I'm just going to use Evil Sun Scarlet straight. Here I'm just going to pick out all the extreme raised edges and maybe some areas that I want some visual interest on the bag. Now coming back to the skin, I'm going to come back with my original beige color and highlight all the raised areas, leaving the Reichland flesh shade in all the recesses. If you do get any of this beige color in your recesses, just come back in with Reichland flesh shade and rewash into the recess. I will need about 2 thin coats to get a solid color. When it comes to highlighting his face, I'm going to focus my highlights on his brow, his top of his nose, lips, and his top of his head. Anywhere that I feel the light will catch. And again, 2 thin coats to get a solid color on the face as well. For the next highlight up, I'm going to use my original beige color, mixed 50-50 with Joe Sanja's bisque, and hit all the upper surfaces of the muscles. On the face, I will paint all the extreme edges and the top of his head. And for that extra pop, I'm going to use just pure bisque and dot in all the extreme points on all the muscles and face. For all the black areas, I'm going to use model color Basalt Gray to pick out all the raised areas and folds, and anywhere that requires a little bit of extra visual interest. And for the extreme edges for the black, I'm going to use a mix of model color Basalt Gray and Citadel's Gracia, mixed 50-50. To highlight the bronze areas on the model, I'm going to use Molten Bronze from P3. This will be the hilt of his sword, the bells on his arms, and the little filigree on his belt. For the blade of his sword, I'm going to use Citadel's Ironbreaker. I'll use this as a first base coat because my last silver I used on it didn't come out very good and I wasn't very happy. For the final highlight for the silver and bronze, I'm going to use Citadel Stormhouse Silver. This will just be for the edge of the blade and the edges of all the bronze areas. I really enjoyed painting this Santa. Something about this model just makes me very happy, which is probably why I enjoyed painting it so much. I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll leave links to Cripple God Foundry's Patreon and My Mini Factory in the description below. Please like, subscribe, and if there's anything you would like me to cover, please leave it in the comments below. And I will see you all in my next video.